No, not fixed. Doing the same thing it was doing yesterday. So it's not an air leak. Maybe to lose some patience with it now. Probably set fire to it by the end of the day. Maybe to lose some patience with it now. Probably set fire to it by the end of the day. Yeah, he's not happy, and I don't blame him. Well, while Tom entertains himself again, looking at the bike, this time he's pulling both filters off. What about the vastness of this place, eh? And that's another reason why we decided to stay in town last night, because finding a bush camp in this sort of environment is not always guaranteed. Alright, he's taken off while I was packing up the drone. They're very patient and tolerant, I'll give him that. Last night he swapped out all the plumbing, the hoses. He just swapped out a T-piece then. Failing that, if that hasn't fixed the problem, then he's saying he's going to pull the carby to bits later on this evening. Last time I was on this stretch of the Donahue was a few years ago, and I ended up shredding a rear tyre in blistering temperatures. It was about 42 degrees. I had a spare rear tyre with me, and I sort of shot her under a tarp for a couple of hours in the hope the temperature would drop, and it never did. Swapped the tyre out the side of the road and got underway, but not a lot of fun, not in those temperatures. We've just crossed into the Northern Territory from Queensland. Straight away the road conditions change. We've gone from a sealed road to unsealed. It's usually the case when you cross into a shire or a border. We've also crossed into a different time zone now too. Well, we've just called into Tombamore station. We're just on the inside of the NT border, Northern Territory border. Just calling in here to get some fuel. Have a break. This is obviously a working cattle station, but they provide facilities for tourists, fuel, accommodation if you need it. Report to office for fuel. Dogs must be on a leash. Okay. $2.65 a litre. That's not bad considering where we are. We're at Tombamore station. There's no shortage of creativity here. Old truck, fire pit, a big size fire pit, huge, and under the bonnet the barbecue. Perfect. It seems no matter what you do you're not protected. This levee bank, I don't know how long it's been there, but it's been there for a few years. Well, it wasn't enough to prevent flooding of the station. March 2019, the water rose so high that it burst. The levee bank burst, and the homestead, the house, was partly submerged underwater. So it doesn't matter what you try and do. It's like it's never enough out here. The sign said it was a 15-minute walk, so we figured it might be a 2-minute ride. Bad idea. You don't want frantic wheel spin, because you'll just sink. I think that's the end of the sand. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was only a few minutes ago, but I can't remember. Yes, it is. I need a rest after that. We saw this sign, walk to government works, 1 kilometre 15 minutes one way. The track was wide enough to ride, so we figured, hey, you know, after all, we are lazy bastards. We are currently at Altanga, which was the first town in Central Australia before Alice Springs. They discovered gold here, and so yeah, this place was established before Alice. My guess is the gold ran out pretty quickly and everybody bailed. But yeah, that was the police station we were just at then. No sense coming this far and not, you know, smelling the roses, if you know what I mean. That's a whole little community. Look at this. Our building over there, more over at the back here. All these sites are numbered. Unfortunately, we don't have a map to say what's what. Furnace thing, what's it say here? Oh no, horizontal steam engine. That would have been what supplied the power. Headstand battery box, obviously the battery's gone. I want to be careful I don't get myself in a position that I can't get out of again. It's a bit embarrassing. And would I be here if I was on my own? Probably not. You know, it's only because I've got somebody with me. If I strike trouble, he's there to give me a hand, thankfully. What would they have been? Water tanks? I don't know. So all those numbers, the battery site we know what that looked like. Post office, manager's residence, assayer's residence, mystery mud house, blacksmith shop, assay building, out the back of workers' hut. What's an assay? The assayer's job was to account for the gold at every stage of the extraction process. Established in 1898, pretty much faded by 1913. Interesting place. I think the next stop will probably be Alice Springs. We're entering from the east along the Ross Highway. From memory, there's a mountain range to our right as we enter. Very picturesque. got to be fuel. He, while we're on dirt tracks, there's lots of vibration, the bike performs perfectly. As soon as he gets on the smooth stuff, after a couple of minutes, that's when it starts breaking down, and the only way to correct it is either go off-road, on the side of the road here, or slow down, and then eventually, I don't know, the fuel bowl must fill up, and away we go. So, yeah, sticky needle and seat maybe? I don't know. As soon as the bike experiences vibration on rough tracks and the like, it comes good. So, yeah, it's got to be fuel related. Fuel bowl, needle and seat. Poor bastard. It'll be good for a couple of minutes and then just, yeah, I reckon run out of fuel. Just entering Alice Springs now. Tom's not been here before. I have on a number of occasions. So I'm going to take him to Anzac Hill, which is a lookout. Gives him an overall overview of the layout of the town. I'm not quite sure what he wants to achieve while we're here. I'm not even sure if we're staying here this evening. I guess I'll find out more once we arrive at Anzac Hill. Now we've decided not to stay in Alice overnight. We're going to hit the road, and in an attempt to get off the blacktop as much as possible, because it's sealed between here and Uluru, where you are, 550 k's, you know, that's 5.5 hours, that's a long time on the blacktop. So in an attempt to avoid some of that, we're going to take the old South Road, which I guess would have been the highway into the place back in the day. So yeah, we'll take that, that's all unsealed. We'll take that until we've got no option. Tom has spent his time wisely in Alice Springs. He's bought some fuel additive, carburetor cleaner, degreasing fluid and brake clean. All those essential items to keep a DR650 running sweet as a nut. Guess what he'll be doing this evening? We're just going through the gap. Now that's the Todd River there. Very, very rarely does it flow. And when it does, it's obviously in flood. Last week they had the Todd River Regatta, which is a boat race on a dry riverbed. Go figure. Track that they use for the Finke Desert Race. I'm not quite sure whether that's going to be suitable for me on this thing. Could be a bit challenging, I think. Well, he's had sense to turn around, and he didn't need much encouragement from me. This would have been biting off a bit more than we could chew, I think. Be fun on an unladen bike, but yeah, a bit risky, I think. A bit risky. Alright, we've just turned off the Ghan Heritage Trail, the one that goes alongside the Finke Desert Racetrack. We've turned right, so this road will take us, well, this track will take us onto, or back onto Stuart Highway, the main north-south road between Adelaide and Darwin. There was a sign back there that said campgrounds 11 kilometres, but my guess is that's got something to do with the Finke Desert Race. It's obviously the rail, it's obviously the train line to Darwin. Wonder how much water they get through here. I don't know the name of this creek or river. I have no idea where we are. Coming up to a road, it's a bit of a shortcut to both Ooyy and also Kings Canyon. It's called Ernest Giles Road, but it's got a reputation for being a bit dodgy. You know, they talk about recommend four-wheel drive, yada yada yada, 100 kilometres of unsealed. I've agreed to do it. I've read, you know, that it's sandy and, as I said, a bit dodgy McDodge. But I did it in 2010 and I don't recall any major issues. There was a truck rolled over, but that's because he took the bend a bit quick. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. Warning, sand drifts and corrugations, 4x4 wheel drive advisable, access to King Canyon via the Lassiter Highway is recommended. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, you've warned me, you've kept your end of the bargain.
I'd like to remind you that Lawrence has been out of jail for months now.
Well, my guess is this is the scene of the fatal. Surprised to see so much debris still here. It happened about 8 o'clock this morning. It's now, I don't know, 1 o'clock. Shit. Oh Jesus, 2 cars. I never expected that.